Hey there, welcome to a Gooey Slow Flow. This Gooey Slow Flow is designed to leave you feeling nice and fluid and free in your body. This is almost a lyrical, flowy sequence, lots of moving arms and moving parts. So I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed sequencing it. In terms of props, a couple blocks will be nice. If you find your knees sensitive on the floor, a folded blanket or a folded towel underneath your knees would be lovely. And as always, if you want to have an emotional support bolster for the end of class, you are always welcome to have one. We begin today in Virasana, so sitting back on your heels. You might put your block or a prop between your heels to sit yourself up a little higher. But just note that when we do get moving, you may like to shift it out of the way. Now take a moment to feel your sit bones either on your heels, on the ground, or on your prop. Press them down slightly so that you may lengthen the spine. Crown of the head draws towards the ceiling, almost like it's full of helium. Relax your shoulders, relax your face, and smooth out your breath. Inhaling deep, and exhaling long. Setting an intention here to keep the breath as flowing, as free as our bodies today. Bringing attention to feeling freedom within movement, freedom within breath, and maybe freedom within the mind. Another moment of silence. Focus inward on the breath. If you do have that prop, you may choose to remove it. You may choose to keep it. I'll leave that up to you. As we take left fingertips down to the floor, right hand sweeps up and over. We take a nice big side bend, sinking right hip down towards the floor. Take a breath in and enjoy this shape. And as you breathe out, start to turn your body towards your left hand, enough so that your right hand can come down to the floor, anywhere on the floor. And think about drawing the biggest rainbow you can out towards the front of your mat, and then over to the right side. Press your right hand down into the floor, and we lift the left hand up. Same kind of side bend as the other. And we repeat. Big swooping rainbows across the floor, lifting up, reaching over. Perhaps an inhale with a reach, and exhale for your sweep. Really melting these three movements, your sweep, your side bends, left and right, into one fluid movement, blurring the lines between each. Taking any extra embellishments or movements that you would like, and I encourage you to do that throughout this entire class. Let's take one more swoop, one more reach, finishing up by reaching left hand to the right, and swooping your hands up and over, coming back to sitting. Ooh, beautiful side bending, forward folding. Let's bring some spinal extension and flexion, some shoulder movement into our practice. Let's bring the hands in front of the heart. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, turn your fingertips to point directly in front of you and start to lengthen your arms. Draw your chin to your chest, round your back. Think like an angry cat spine here. Then as we inhale, we'll open the arms wide like you're opening your wings. Pull your heart forward, arch your back. Spinal extension, dive it forward, spinal flexion. Inhaling to open the front body, maybe you look up. Exhaling to open the back body, maybe you look down. Inhaling, open heart. Exhaling, open back body. One more inhale to open your wings. This time as you exhale, tabletop, dive the hands onto the floor, settle the knees under the hips, adjust yourself in any way that you might like. Knees are hip distance apart, hands are under the shoulders. We press down into the right hand, reach the left hand up, big open twist. Thread the needle, but do not put the arm on the floor. We're just Reaching that left arm under the right for a breath out, and then straight back up to the ceiling with a breath in. A lateral flexion child's pose. So we sit the hips back towards the heels, reach both hands to the top right-hand corner of your mat. Send the left hip back towards the back of your mat. Lots of length in that left side body. Relax your head either on your arms or on the floor. Enjoy some stillness. Bring your hands back through center and settle them to a tabletop underneath your shoulders. Press into the left hand, right hand lifts up, big open twist. Thread the needle by reaching that right arm down and under, shoulder towards the floor for a moment, and then reach it back up. Sit your hips back as you reach both hands to the top left-hand corner of your mat. Pull your right butt cheek back toward the heels. So much length in that right side body. Using your breath to create a little extra space, a little extra freedom within the rib cage. Lift your gaze and walk your hands back in front of the shoulders. Pop yourself back up to your child's pose. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Ooh, take your time in your downward dog to pedal the feet, settle in. Any movements that feel right. Bending one leg, straightening the other. Pedaling it out. Any wiggles that help you feel at home in this shape are welcome. And then as it's right for you, settle into some stillness, gently pressing your heart back towards your thighs, sit bones towards the ceiling, biceps either side of the ears. Come up high on your tippy toes and ripple forward, shoulders over wrist, plank pose. If you want to bring your knees to the floor, please do so. Otherwise, we're in a push-up position, knees or toes. A breath in to hold this shape. And a breath out, elbows close to the body as you lower down. Some rolling cobras, tops of the feet to the floor, fingertips to the floor on the hard either side of your mat, or if you're on carpet, not so hard. Elbows point up to the ceiling like a creepy Halloween spider. And we ripple the entire spine throughout our rolling cobras. Squeeze your glutes, lift the belly button away from the floor, lower ribs, heart, gaze forward. And in the same order, we exhale, melt it down. Hips, belly button, chest, head. Inhale, we lift it up. And exhale, we melt it down. Inhale it up. Squeeze your glutes just a little. Exhale, melt down. Let's take one more. Inhale, we lift up. And exhale, melt down, palms to floor, push back to a tabletop. Now this is a really good opportunity to take blocks under the hands. It especially assists our little step through that we do. And we're about to take a flow that was actually quite popular on our Instagram. We made a little reel about it. If you recognize it, you are definitely a real one. Press into your right hand and your left knee. Start to extend your right leg behind you, heel presses in line with the hip. Optional reach of the left hand out in front of you. Take a really big breath in. As you breathe out, pull your right knee to the chest, settle left hand back down on the floor or your block as you step your right knee through foot between the hands, a low lunge. You can reach the hands forward and up. And acknowledge here if you might like some extra support underneath that back knee as we are going to be moving on it a little bit. Pivot on that back shin as you turn your right hand forward, left hand back. It's a mini warrior two, opening your belly button and your heart to the left long edge of your mat. And we take a little reach here. Bend your knee generously. Reach like you're reaching past the front of your mat. Then we extend it up, straighten the front leg a little or a lot. Bring your left hand under your belly button, right hand over the head. Make an S shape, a little reach. Repeat. Warrior two with a big bend in the knee, reach. And then make that S shape as you bring it up. One more, reach. And this time, send your left hand to the floor behind you, right hand up to the ceiling, straighten your right leg. We're in a modified side plank. Take a big breath in, feel really expansive, big reach to the arms, long right leg, tuck your tailbone slightly. Moving through that right arm, reach it up overhead, bicep by the ear, breath in. Breath out, cartwheel the arms up to a T. Start to turn your heart to your front leg and rain your fingertips down either side of your front leg. Half split. Right leg is bent. Right leg is straight. If it wants to bend, it can. Hands are either on the floor or on blocks. Back shin, left shin is on the floor. A beautiful option for a twist is bringing a block under the left hand as you reach the right hand up to the ceiling, twisting across the body. Pull your right hip towards the back of the mat. A big breath in, expand your wingspan, reach your arms a little further away from each other. And breath out, both hands come either down to the floor or down to your blocks on their lowest level. We lunge forward enough that you can really plant your palms, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, step back to a downward facing dog. Now you have the option of being in a tabletop if you're not feeling your downward dog, but it's just a little palate cleanser, a little space between sides. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, ripple forward to a plank, shoulders over wrists, knees or toes. Take a breath in. And breath out, lower all the way down to the floor. A baby cobra this time, press the tops of the feet to the floor, palms to floor, elbows are tucked in nice and close as you lift your heart, shine it forward. Lower down and then bend the knees, push back to a tabletop. Let's repeat everything on the opposite side. This time, left hand, right knee are your standing points. Extend your left leg behind you, flex the foot in line with the hip, reach the right arm. Big breath in, extend, get long. Breath out, hands down to blocks or floor, step your left foot through between the hands. Lunge forward, reach the hands up, find your balance. Support under the back knee if you like. Pivot on the back shin so you can open your arms to a T, turn your belly button and your heart to the right long edge of the mat. Our little flow here, bend into your front left knee, reach, and then make an S shape with the hand. Scoop under the belly button with the right hand, reach to the back of the mat with the left. Warrior two, reach. Little S shape with the arms. One more, warrior two, reach. This time a little different. Straighten your left leg. Place your right hand down on the floor behind you on a block or the floor. Top hand reaches up, find that half plank, feel good. Left arm moves as you inhale, reach it up overhead, side body length. And we lift up to gate pose, cartwheel the hands either side of the front leg. They can be on blocks or the floor here. Your left leg is long in front of you, right shin is on the ground. Option for a block underneath that right hand is you peel the left hand up, turning your heart over that front leg. Nice big twist, reaching space between the hands. Inhale. Exhale, both hands down to the floor. Bend your front knee enough that you can plant your palms. Tuck your back toe. Step it back to a downward facing dog. Pause it here for a moment before we move our way into some more standing shapes. Settling. Press hard into your left foot. Lift the right leg up with a breath in. Three-legged dog. Breath out, bend that knee in, pull it to your chest as you gaze forward. Step the right foot between the hands, give it a little help up if it needs. Find your high lunge, steady on the feet, bend the knees as much as you like. Cactus the arms. And then reach them back up to the ceiling. Pivot on that back left foot, warrior two. Turning all 5 toes of the left foot to the long edge of the mat, leaning into your front knee, bending the knee in line with the big little toe. The big little toe. Start to lean towards the front of the mat, bend into that front leg a little more. And then reverse your warrior or exalt your warrior. Bottom hand scoops under the belly button, top arm. Repeat, arms to a T, lean a little bit. And exalt. Warrior two. exalt. Pause, straighten both legs, exalted Trikonasana, and then a regular Trikonasana, arms to a T. Reach to the top of your mat. Bring that right hand down to the thigh, shin or floor. Rotate the right rib cage underneath the left rib cage. Top hand reaches up to the ceiling. Bottom hand can be on a block. I like mine on my shin. Your choice. Like you're moving your limbs through honey. We inhale, lift them back up to an exalted Trikonasana. Back hand, back thigh, front hand reaches up. Bend into your right front knee again as you cartwheel both hands down to the floor, runner's lunge. And we move through that on the other side. First, let's take a flow. Step both feet to the back of the mat, plank pose, knees or toes. Lower down to the floor, belly on mat. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. A few moments of breath in your down dog, settle in. A sense of unhurriedness, of slowness in your movements. And a gentle reminder, you can opt out of anything that doesn't serve you today. Press into your right leg, left leg lifts, inhale. Step that left leg between the hands, give it a hand forward if it needs. High lunge, reach the hands forward and up. Cactus, open your heart. High lunge, pivot on the back foot, warrior two. Right toes turn to the right, long edge of your mat. Lean forward, bend into your left knee. Exalt, scoop the hand under the belly button. Side body length. Reach. Exalt. One last reach. This time exalt. Keep your arms as they are. Straighten your legs. Arms to a T. Trikonasana. Reach to the front of the mat. Bottom hand lands really underneath the shoulder. So that might comfortably be on your thigh, shin or floor. Scoop the left rib cage underneath the right rib cage. Lengthen the lower spine. Gaze goes where feels right on your neck. And we use an inhale to exalt our Trikonasana. Back hand, back thigh, front hand lifts up. Bend into the front knee, cartwheel both hands either side of the front foot, runner's lunge. We move through our final flow. Stepping, plank, lower down. Baby cobra. Yes, that was our final flow, but we still have a little more to do. Step it back or send it back, downward facing dog. And then come up high on the toes, bend your knees, gaze forward, and start to walk your feet wider than your hands. Toes pointing out, heels pointing in. We move to Malasana, or a nice big squat, bending the knees generously between the heels. Sitting up nice and tall, sometimes the heels will want to pop up off the floor, that is totally okay. And your hips might not comfortably come down so far. Keep them up nice and high. It's your choice where you want to be in your squat. We get the same benefits even if our shapes look different. Now you have the option of sitting back to Navasana, boat pose, no hands. But if that doesn't feel fun for you, follow me. Start to lean your hands forward but round your back, just like we were doing at the start of class. As you lean forward, you're kind of counterbalancing as you bring your butt closer to the floor. And if you feel like there's going to be a big bonk, a butt to floor action, place your hands behind you and gently lower your bottom down to the floor. Scoop your feet in front of you to bring your ankles to meet. Reach your hands forward. Now, especially if you're feeling super low energy today, you might keep your feet on the ground or just your tippy toes on the ground. If you want a little more, send your shins parallel with the ceiling. Reaching fingertips to the outer edges of the ankles, sitting up tall, boat pose, Navasana. Now we're going to get a little bit tangled up here, so follow along with me. Start to pull your heels in towards your right butt cheek. Toes towards right butt cheek. Lean your left shin to the floor as you turn your whole body to the left side of your mat. And then sit yourself into Virasana. facing the left long side of your mat. So you should be at the top of your mat, 90 degrees turned to the left. Right hand comes to the top of your mat, left hand swoops up and over, big side bend. As you go the other direction, bring your left hand to the floor, lean your weight into your left heel and extend your right leg long, away from you. Now, settle left hand to the floor, reach the right hand up and lift the hips up away from the heels. Modified side plank, we've been here before. A little bit of pivoting on the left shin. Start to turn your left toes towards your right foot and sit your hips back down on the floor. Thinking inner edge of, or bottom of the left foot on the inner edge of the right thigh. Take the back of the right hand to the calf. Reach the left hand up and over. Keep spiraling your right rib cage towards your left knee as you tip over, like you're reaching both fingertips towards your right foot. Parivrita Janushirasana or twisted Janushirasana. Swoop your left hand up and over. Place it down on the mat behind your left hip. Fallen star, lift the hips up and reach the right hand up to the ceiling and perhaps behind you as you tuck your tailbone, squeeze your glutes, open your heart to the ceiling. I like to look down to the floor. That feels good on my neck. You look where feels good. Inhale, lift a little more. Exhale, sit your butt back down to the floor. Legs stay as they were before, but turn your whole body to the front of the mat. Untwisted, regular Janushirasana, hands reach to the ceiling. And then we turn our sternum over front right shin as you fold forward. Melting over that front leg. I get such a beautiful sense of opening in the outer left hip here. Of course, poses land differently in different bodies. It may be different for you, and that's okay. Place your palms on the floor, either side of that right extended leg, and walk them back towards you to help yourself sit up. Pull your left knee in toward the chest, bring the right knee to meet it, and let's do everything on the other side. Reach forward as you lift the legs as much or as little as you like, boat pose. Pause for 3, for 2, and 1. This time, lean weight into your right butt cheek. Send your heels toward your left butt cheek. Knees turn to the right side of your mat as you come to Virasana, sitting on your knees, facing to the long side of your mat, 90 degrees to the front. Left hand down on the floor, right hand sweeps up and over towards the top of your mat. And then other side, right hand comes down to the mat, left leg extends long. Press down into your right shin as you lift up, modified side plank. Breath in as you wave the left hand up overhead. Pivot on the right shin and sit it down, ready for your Parivrita twisted Janushirasana. Back of the left hand to the inner left calf, sliding it toward the ankle as you reach the right hand up and over. Both hip bones or butt cheeks are on the floor here. Fallen star pose as you swoop the right hand up and over, palm to floor. Left hand reaches either up to the ceiling or behind you as you squeeze the glutes, lift the hips, lift the heart. Big back bend. I love this beautiful expressive pose. Turning to the front as you sit your butt down towards the ground. The right leg is bent, left leg is long. Turning to the front of your mat. Arms reach up to prepare. And sternum to shin as you fold forward. Now you can grab onto your thigh, shin, ankle, foot. I like to just settle the hands onto the floor. Kind of gently pulling your right rib cage toward the left foot. Walk your hands back towards you to sit yourself up. Extend both legs long on your mat and just wiggle yourself forward enough that you've got space to lie down. Woo. Really nice opportunity to use a block or a pillow. Have it close by. Even your folded blanket or towel will be beautiful here. Bend your knees. Hands reach down to either side of the ankles. We take some rolling bridges by pressing your feet to the floor, scooping your hips under. Inhale as you lift up, squeeze your glutes. Reach your hands to the ceiling and then up overhead, biceps by ears. Big rainbows with the hands again. Lower hips, lower hands down to the floor. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we lower. One more inhale to lift. Final exhale here to lower. Grab your prop, support, pillow, blanket, anything. If you don't have anything, don't stress. Settle your hips, or I should say the pelvis, onto your prop. I've got a block on its low setting, and we want it really on the sacrum, the lowest part of the spine. It's more underneath your butt cheeks than your lower back. Hands, steady yourself on the floor as you send the legs up to a supported shoulder stand. You're welcome to be still here. If the legs want to bend a lot, they definitely can. You can wiggle feet and wiggle toes, or you can just relax into stillness. I have to say, if I could pick one yoga pose to do for the rest of my life, there's not even a question, this would definitely be it. Whether I am full of energy or feeling tired, this is just such a medicinal shape, for me at least. I hope for you too. I like to notice these kind of organic movements my legs take when they're up in the air. It's kind of subconscious. Maybe the same happens for you, or maybe you just settle into stillness. Yoga is such a journey of self-inquiry, and we can really hone our skills of self-study and neutral observation in our asana practice, noticing how things feel, noticing things landing in the body, practicing observing sensation, fatigue, stretch, with a neutral stance transfers so well to meditation and learning to observe our thoughts and emotions. BKS Iyengar kind of often works outward in. He kind of goes, okay, it's the body, and then we get the breath, and then we get the mind. Let's begin to float those feet back down to the floor. Slide whatever prop you're using from underneath you. And just gently draw the knees to the chest and give yourself a little hug. A little squeeze, perhaps a breath in with a little extra love, a little extra squeeze. And then release the grip on your legs, settle your feet down to the floor, and we move to Shavasana. So traditionally, that's with the feet hip distance apart, let the feet rock to the sides, palms down by the sides. It's almost like anatomical position. And then from there, modify accordingly to your body. So for me, I always like to bend my knees and come to constructive rest. But of course, you and I are different humans, so you might do something different. As always, we have guided long Shavasanas on the platform. I encourage you to pause this video and either use one of our guided Shavasanas or simply set a timer, play a relaxing piece of music. Spend as long in your Shavasana as you can. Of course, if you would like to finish up with me, let's close with 3 very deliberate rounds of breath. Together, you and I, inhaling deep through the nose. And once you've got to the top of your inhale, stop and then just pull in a little more breath. And then let it all go through the mouth. Let's do that again. Inhale as deep as you can. And then just sip in a little more. And let it go through the mouth. Again, inhale deep. Sip in a little more. And release. Just start to breathe normally. We can wiggle fingers and just move the body. Awakening in any way that feels right. And we'll press our way up to a comfortable seated position. Hands in front of the heart. Perhaps acknowledging how slowness, unhurriedness, how grace and gooiness and fluidity could positively affect your life away from your mat, in your relationships, or the way you move throughout your day. We'll close our practice with a breath in, a sigh out. Begin to rub the palms of the hands together, going faster and faster and faster, building heat, little energy between the palms. When your palms are feeling nice and warm, place them over your closed eyes, breathe in. Blink the eyes open as you breathe out. Settle your hands down into your lap and lift your gaze. Thank you so much for joining me for this fluid, gooey, slow flow. I hope you enjoyed moving your body and building on your breath. As always, please reach out with any questions, comments, anything you would like to share. I can't tell you how much I love hearing from you, and I hope to see you soon.